bringing you classic gaming.
What's the deal, everybody? I go by the name of Biz Billa, and welcome back to BYC Gaming, bringing you classic gaming. You know, bring your controller. So basically, we back here, UFC 4 career mode. This is episode number 2 with the talented welterweight Edgardo Moraga. Now listen, man, I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I'm a tough critic on myself, and I know that the MMA fan base is really critical. So it's like I'm gonna work hard to not only improve these fights, but also my terminology, my knowledge of the game. It's a lot more I want to bring to this series, and it's a lot more I want to do with this character, man. I want to make him improve. If you missed the first episode, he's fighting his way through the WFA. He's got a fight coming up against Dallas Clay, an American welterweight. And let's go ahead and get into it. So as you see, we're pretty close in age, some similarities, and let's go ahead and set it off. We got the Brazilian Edgardo Moraga. For those of y'all don't know, some of my favorite fighters, as I was saying in the first episode, are Brazilian fighters. So I was hoping to give him that Jose Aldo, you know, Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort, that type of vibe. You know what I mean? Hannibal. I could list so many others, so many great Brazilian fighters, but my guy is totally a striker, kickboxer, likes to mix things up, likes to throw combinations, likes to attack specific parts of the body. I usually go out for that lead leg, you know what I'm saying, take that out the case so they can't throw so many heavy shots early on. And as you can see here, I'm throwing a lot of leg kicks, trying to stay out of range. This guy's got some pretty good hands, as I'm seeing early on. He hasn't landed that big significant strike yet, but I'm not going to doubt him, because if you saw the last fight in episode 1, man, let me tell you, man, that last guy gave me a run for my money. As you see, a lot of kicks being thrown by Moraga in this fight. I'm being quite aggressive, as you can see. A couple feints, but not many of them. It's just a bunch of combinations being thrown, followed by leg kicks, head kicks. I'm just fighting very aggressively. When a lot of these episodes were filmed, I was first learning how to play UFC 4, and I was pretty much fighting like a brawler. As you see, we get a stun right there, but that was my style when I first started playing this, and it's why I wanted to take my lumps in the WFA and not just jump straight to the UFC and take losses off the rip and jack up my MMA record. Nonetheless, the leg kick lands right there. We're tearing his leg up. You see a lot of damage has been taken by that lead left leg. I'm actually surprised he hasn't switched stance at this point. As you see here, late in the first round, he gets a takedown, and that would pretty much lead us to the end of the round as we take a look back at what happened here in this first round. It was a, you know, pretty good round. You know, I scored a knockdown, but I think the aggressiveness is the standout point of that round. I didn't show so many clips, but you know, it was the aggressiveness from my guy Moraga. He was out there throwing a lot of punches, a lot of leg kicks, trying to inflict damage on our opponent Clay. Speaking of inflict damage, you see a strong knee right there lands, followed up by a leg kick, a head kick, and he's down, man. And here you see Moraga going for the kill, man. He's trying to put this guy's lights out, and that's all she wrote, man. C'est la vie, put her to sleep. I mean, just a beautiful collection of leg kicks right there from Moraga to end the fight, and he puts it to rest. Let's take a look at it again on the WFA replay. You see that, man, that left leg, man, to the left temple, and down he goes, and it's another win as we continue to move up the rankings in the WFA, remaining undefeated. The Brazilian Beast. Okay, so we're back in the Octagon, WFA, taking on another welterweight. Got a fighter from Russia we're getting ready to go head up with. Let's see if he touches gloves, man. I'm always big on showing respect to my opponent before the fight starts. He does touch gloves, and let's get ready to go to war. So I was interested to see how this fight will go. I'm also interested to see how long it will take for me to climb these WFA rankings and potentially get a title fight. Is here you see with shots like this, that title fight is not going to be far away. As you see a flurry of shots, punches, knees, all landing on the Russian opponent as we got his back against the cage now. He's grappling with us, trying to get some kind of control over this fight as he's just been walloped by a flurry of punches and kicks right there. As you see, he's able to get me to the ground now. But you know, I'm trying to make a statement in this WFA thing, man. If you go to the ground, I'm not very good off my back as far as, you know, my BJJ game, but hey, listen, man, if I get you in that arm bar and you're tired or you're dizzy or any of the above, you're gonna tap out, man. I'm sorry. And I don't, anytime I'm in a weak position on the ground, I'm going right for that submission, man. I'm throwing strikes from in the submission. I'm doing it all, even if it doesn't, you know, lead to a submission. I always make sure to make a statement. If you want to take it to the ground, I'm going to try to make you tap. I do arm bars, I do it all. So we're back standing up. You see I land a nice shot to the body and he's back on the ground. Up quickly though, and I return with more punches, more combinations. So, you know, like I said, this guy is clearly stunned and dazed. He doesn't want to exchange with me. He takes me right back to the ground here. And once again, I'm sticking to my game plan. You take me to the ground, you make this a ground fight. I'm going to make sure you're going to regret it. As I put him in the arm bar, I've got it deep at this point with just a few minutes left in the round, but it won't matter as he taps out and we move on with another victory. I'm telling you, man, I'm not playing with y'all, man. I do not do the ground thing, man. And I actually, later on in the series, you'll see I changed my ground grappling settings or whatever. I guess I'll just say grappling and clinching settings, because, you know, the legacy one just appeals to me more, man. The legacy options are just better. I found that I was able to maneuver on the ground much better with those controls, but nonetheless, we control the narrative. Another win.
This is how we train to win the belt. Beautiful combination. Keep it up. Put the pressure on it. Come on now, let's work there.
All right, so here we are again with another welterweight matchup. We got another American going up against the Brazilian beast, Eduardo. I almost said his name wrong. I got to get it right. Still getting used to it. Edgardo Moraga going up against the U.S. fighter Nick Barrea. Let's see what happens. Leg kicks, head kicks, out the gate. You know how I give it up. Trying to establish my dominance early on. Throwing that jab, see what he's hitting on, and man, he kept leaving his hands down, excuse me. And I decided I'm gonna be aggressive. Throw a new move I learned out there in the gym and laid him out for the knockdown after the head kick. But he's still fighting, he's still in it. I'm throwing a lot of bombs on the ground, but he's still standing. So Barrea's got some heart. Let's move ahead. Just a few seconds in this round, not even that much further. Another stun right here, and he's going for the takedown. He's not even with the stand-up game at this point. He goes for the takedown, I go for the submission. We discussed this in the last fight, and he got out of it, and we're back to the stand-up game. Now, I see I have an advantage here, so pretty much I don't even want to go to the ground. I want to go ahead and stand up with this guy and knock him out. Let's move ahead a little further in the first round. He takes me to the ground again, and you know what I'm doing. I'm going right for the submission. I get the submission in a little bit deeper, throw some shots from the submission position, but he breaks out of it. Once again, I'm going back for it again. You're gonna stop taking me to the ground, because I'm gonna keep putting you in submissions. You're gonna learn eventually. I got him in the armbar again, trying to lock it in. I'm hoping he has to slam me right here, because I'm looking like this is a perfect position for him to slam me, but he's got to be exhausted at this point from taking all those head kicks to the head, all those punches to the face on the ground and pound. I'm throwing some more strikes right here in the submission, trying to get this man to tap. I got the armbar locked in deep, and that's all she wrote. He is out of here, submitting another opponent. So it's like, yeah, I want to stand with these guys, but they keep taking me to the ground, and I know my ground game isn't that good off the back. So it's like, shoot, I'm gonna go for the submission every time you take me to the ground until you learn that we're going to keep this on the ground. You're going to have to beat me standing up, because it's not going to happen with that armbar. That armbar is dominant, man. I'm really impressed with the way that Moraga has found a way to, you know, kind of hide a weakness of his, which is the ground game. You know, they take me to the ground, I go right for that submission, and it is what it is. Another win. And I'm moving up the WFA rankings. I hope you tune in for episode 3, because we got some really interesting things happening with my character as he moves up the UFC and the WFA ranks. Well, UFC possibly. Did I just give something away? You have to tune in to episode 3 to see. I go by the name of B.I.Z. Bizbilla. This is BYC Gaming, and we're out of here.